all the bowlers are doing really well. But can you talk about that Joe Root delivery from Akash Deep? And the second part is there's a lot of chatter about that, if Bumrah doesn't play, this attack, can they be, able to pick those 20 wickets? How impressed are you? I know that you have the belief that they can do it, but how impressed are you with all of them?
I'm very, very happy so far. We had a deep or good discussion after the last test in terms of areas we want to improve on, and I think we've done that. So that's a pleasing sign from a growing bowling attack. Missing one of their most experienced players so they can react to those sort of things. And coming back to Akash, he is an attacking bowler that asks questions. Bowling at the stumps a lot, and I think that's one of the golden rules here in England. Is asking questions in the stumps. So for these sort of conditions in the UK, it suits his style. And coming back from injury and seeing him running in with high pace, it's a nice sign for us.
Good ball.
Oh yeah, coming back to the ball, obviously that's a dream delivery. Top quality player, Joe Root, and to dismiss him in that fashion, just shows the quality of Akash, what he can do. I think he's also a guy like all of us. The more confidence you give him, also almost like there's a little bit more energy behind the ball, and hopefully that delivery he'll play over on his phone tonight, and then bring a couple of more of those tomorrow.
Morning here. Morning, can you just tell us about the challenges of bowling on such batting-friendly pitches, where much of it happens when the ball is relatively new?
Yeah, I think your skill really gets tested on a surface like that. The margin for error is a lot smaller than on a surface obviously that's nipping around a little bit, and that's going to be a challenge for us tomorrow. I thought we moved slightly away from our plans in the first innings, and in a way, you also with runs on the board, you want to go take a couple of more risks. But tomorrow for us, it's just going to be asking those questions on a good length, because we know as the ball gets a little bit softer, it is harder to strike. But yeah, just happy with the 3 tonight.
Morning, word on Siraj and the way he's come up. He had an indifferent tour of Australia, and he was struggling to get through the batting lineup. As a lead bowler, you expect one to do that. Now, do you feel that with Bumrah not there, he's taken up that responsibility? It looks better in a better rhythm. Can you talk about the conversations you had with Siraj?
Look, for me, Siraj, he's a guy that I've got a lot of respect for. I think he's a guy that always will put his body, push it to the limits. I think sometimes, the guilty part of him is trying too hard. So for us, it's just managing that sort of aggression, managing that intensity, because he really bowls, with his heart on his sleeve. And he runs in, he wants to put in a performance for Team India, and I think sometimes those sort of things can give you that inconsistency. And in this test match, he's now the leader of the attack and he got the wickets up front. But for me, in terms of effort and energy and, with a sore body, he'll put his hand up and he wants to bowl the over. So, I don't think sometimes we give him enough credit for that. We always, look at the wicket column, but there's some bowlers will do the hard yards and will do the dirty job for the team. And he's that type of bowler that will create you 1 or 2 options. And, let's take sometimes the bad spell, accept that as a bowler and look at the good things that he's doing with the ball.
Monet, can you give us an idea of any conversations that might have happened around the timing of the declaration? How many overs were left? How much does the way England play or chase play into that? Especially, I guess, when you know that there could be a bit of weather around in the morning, a bit of rain about.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that was, we did speak about it a lot sort of during the day. But I think we see that it's still a good wicket. Even our boys were batting quite comfortably there towards the back end. Batting against 4 or 5 runs and over. So you having the extra day, weather, you can't really control that. It was getting us into a comfortable position with the bat, and then obviously tonight, have 20 plus overs at them under hopefully gloomy grey skies, and get the 2 or 3 wickets, and we got that, which is a bonus for us. So tomorrow morning that first hour is going to be crucial. We saw this morning that if you get the ball in the right area, there was a little bit of assistance, and do we just need to be on the money with that tomorrow?
Do you still expect them to chase?
I think that's their style. They're gonna probably. Harry Brook is a guy that likes to take the game on and he's an entertainer. So it's an exciting day of cricket tomorrow.
Morning. Interesting that you said the guys got off the plans when they went short in the first innings with that old ball. What is the best way to go about it? Because the ball is getting soft, the pitches are flat, so like 30-40 over old ball, then what's the best way to just, go about it?
Look, I wouldn't say it's off the plan. Like for me, I personally on this sort of surface, you want to set a field where you can still have both options, using the short ball and try and nick a guy off. I think at times when you get too predictable, it can be a little bit easier to score because the surface is slow. But I mean, both those batters are attacking batters. They were going to take it on, and credit to Shubman. He took a gamble there for a couple of overs to potentially get a wicket. England at the time was 80 for 4 for 5. So, to chase another wicket there, there's no harm in that.
Just on that declaration again.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, hi. No one in the history of Test cricket has chased more than 420 odd. Were you really in there with the target at 550, 570? Were you really in there worried that England would knock that off?
Worried? No, not really. I think if a team scores 500 plus on the final day, then they deserve to win. So I think it was us just a little bit more time. Ideally, give an hour, a little bit more than an hour at them tonight. With obviously day 5 around the corner. So yeah.
Mone, you said earlier that you think England will try and chase it down, or Harry Brooks said so at least. If that does happen, does that play into your hands?
It's definitely going to be exciting day of cricket. I mean, I did say last night in the media that they're going to chase, go at everything anything that we set for them. So, like I said, they're attacking players. That's a brand of cricket they want to play. Probably might have a go at it for a while and then reassess. But I think we're in for an exciting day of cricket. It's still fast scoring. The wicket is still playing nicely. So let's see what tomorrow brings.
That's true. Mone, it's amazing to see that we are still thinking about chasing down 600 in the fourth inning. And often in Test cricket, there is a talk about balance between bat and ball. Often pitches back home in India often get criticized for having it is too heavy for the spinners. We saw a pitch in Cape Town when India played, match finished within 2 days. I think you played that test match in Brisbane. I think that played within 2 days. So how do you see, compared to those kind of pitches, if those are not in its right those pitches are not promoting test cricket, what about this pitch? Is this right promotion of test cricket by having this kind of pitch?
Look, obviously England, they've been successful playing this sort of way, chasing high totals. I know a lot of teams would rather prefer to bat out for 3-4 sessions on day 5 and shake hands and take the draw, but that's their thing. They back themselves to bowl teams out, and if teams set them a total of 400, they're happy to take it on. So that's great for the game. It's great for cricket. But I think teams will also then start to be slightly more street smarter and learn from their mistakes and plan a little bit better.
Hi, Mone. Virat Kohli said on his social media today, well played Starboy, rewriting history, onwards and upwards from here, you deserve all of this. To Shubman Gill, 2 amazing innings this time in Edgbaston as well. What has your team said, what have you said about his performance so far in the game?
Yeah, obviously also just very happy for Shubman as captain on a big tour, coming to England, to play over here, big crowds, a lot of expectation on his shoulders, and I think he's handled it very well so far. And he's been very confident, walking around, sort of in the training, connecting well with the guys. And then as a captain and leader, you need to go in the middle and produce the goods. And I think so far he's been exceptional. Hittingly, getting the scores, and now here back to back. That's great for your captain if you can front up, because the rest will follow. Happy for him.